Like Bob Vila is a real person.
Yeah, who actually has home improvement shows, or did. I don't know if he's even alive anymore.
Tim Allen's character killed him.
Yeah, murdered him
in real life. He got the cartel to kill him after he did the cocaine smuggling back in the day. He's still connected.
Also, to bring it back on, because I don't know what to say to that.
Dad?
Who is my daddy, and what does he do?
Dad?
Daddy, chill.
Dad?
This is the Dad Voice.
Okay.
Oh,
right.
man.
Welcome to the Dad Voice podcast. I am Cole.
I'm Phil.
Phil, big things have come for you as well.
Yeah, they have.
We've spent the last couple of weeks talking about the changes that are going on in my life.
Yeah.
And you are going through some similar changes now.
I am. That's funny how that works.
It is.
I was like, Cole just went through this shit, and now I'm going through it.
We have ascended at the same time. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You're on your second ascension, though. That's the only difference is, like, you're now, but it's your news.
It's finally paying off, too, man.
It's your news.
So we don't have an absolute yes on anything yet, but I'm just going to do what I always do and just go full force and get excited.
Manifest it, baby.
New potential home for us. We'll see how well this episode ages. But yeah, dude, the second ascension is amazing because we've been living in our house for 7 years, bought it before COVID. So we got it for really good deal.
Pennies
I mean,
on the
not
dollar.
a good deal, but that's just what the prices were back then. And so, I mean, we are going to hopefully profit almost $100,000 on our house now.
I'd love to hear that.
And so then it's crazy how this works. You're able to make your second ascension better.
Yeah.
You can just almost get a bigger house for nearly the same mortgage because you get to profit on your own and
see,
get in there.
We are a bit different because, like, this house ended up being kind of like where we want to be. We actually have fallen in love with the area that we're in very quickly. It's
Dude,
quiet.
I love coming out here.
It's quiet.
I'm also out here all the time for work anyways.
Dude, we went to Walmart in the middle of the day. If you do that in Greensboro, you might as well just, like, run out into traffic and just try to kill yourself.
Yeah, they literally have, like, armed security everywhere.
Yeah, it's fucking a nightmare. Everyone's everywhere. No one's talking, like, looking at anyone else but themselves. They're just, like, being loud, obnoxious. It's crowded as fuck. You can't get through a line to save your life. Middle of the day, where we're living now. Walked right up to the self-checkout, checked out. The whole grocery trip was 20 minutes, and that was like for the full weekend's worth of groceries. So I like being out here. But you and I now are doing the similar things. I'm restoring my house because this is the house we want to be in long term.
Yeah, same. And the house that we ideally are going to be getting into is from, like, somewhat of a family connection too, and it's going to take some work. Not like, devastating work that's going to be detrimental to being able to live there, but aesthetic things.
Yeah. Well,
which is fine with me, dude.
I
just want to get in and just get in there.
I will say
we can do aesthetic stuff later. Yeah. Like, it's okay.
I will say that most of the work we have to do on ours is aesthetic.
Yeah.
But it's so desperately needs the aesthetic upgrade. Also, though, I think I've already said it. Our biggest priority is our bathroom. You've been in our bathroom. I can barely fit in there. So, like, that's actually genuinely, like, an issue.
Big toilets coming.
Dude, let me tell you something. Actually, let's introduce what the episode's actually about, because we're talking about how great we are. Today's episode, we're going to go over the things that we've both been working on. Let me pull up my notes.
Yeah, we started off talking about how great we are, but we're going to talk about how we lack some things.
We're
in this area.
diving into the absolute circus that is tackling DIY home repairs. When you're ADHD and you've got everything, I think DIY house repairs is the most similar to that metaphor about having your brain being an internet browser and having all those tabs open at once, because you've got a million projects that you're like,
Yeah.
So we're tackling that today and talking about how you've constantly got all those tabs open, from the things that are like, I'll just fix this real quick, to the things that are like, holy shit,
and
I don't even know where to start.
And when you have ADHD, it is a big thing where your brain defaults to wanting to do stuff the quickest and most efficient way possible. But you can't do that when your family's safety is at risk.
Right.
So doing some of these things where you have to do it right, it has taught me to be more diligent and better about things.
It has. Yeah, like yesterday is a perfect example of that for me. There's where we've got our cat set up there. We've got their litter box they're actually in a closet. And it works pretty efficiently at keeping the smell kind of isolated. Not that we maintain our shit pretty well. But there's a door and it's just been open and kind of like in the way. So my wife has been asking me for weeks to take it off, and I finally took it off yesterday. But like the entire time I'm taking it off, my son's right there, and I'm like, you got to back up.
Dude,
you got to back up.
I've been dealing with the please back up thing.
Yeah.
Like, everything I'm working with right now is bigger and heavier than you. Please back up.
We have even with cooking though, like we have, because our kids are similar ages. Yours is a year older than mine, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's 3.
Oh no, mine's.
Your son just turned 3, right?
No,
he'll
be 4 in October. So I guess.
Oh yeah, I guess your son's older than my daughter.
Weird. I don't know why I've been operating on probably because
I'm pretty sure we just shifted to a parallel universe again.
Yeah,
God damn it, I hate this fucking hellhole parallel universe.
But yeah,
shift me to a better one.
Either way, so our kids are the similar age, so they're doing similar shit. And I'm sure your wife deals with this a lot with the baking and stuff too, but like our oven is old as fuck in this house because my dad just had some appliances. He was like, you can just have these. I would replace all of them as soon as you can, but you can have them. And I think I told you last week, our fridge already ate shit. We got it repaired, luckily, because I bought like a $300 fridge from an appliance place around here, and the fan broke, and so we had to get it repaired. I apologize if you can hear the dryer sounds in the back. Honestly, though, I feel like that fits
it does.
The mood of the podcast. But yeah, so had the fridge. Our appliances got to get changed out. There's a leak underneath our fucking dishwasher that I've got to figure out. But I may have already said this too. I'm not taking that fucking dishwasher out until I've got a replacement to plug back in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's one of the things that I have learned very quickly already is don't make more work for yourself. I'm not going to pull that fucking dishwasher out, find the leak. It's not causing a ton of issues right now. It's not causing structural issues. Just to have to pull it back out in a few weeks when I get a new one and put a new one back in.
Yeah, don't start something when you know you might have something that is, not good happen. So I'm fixing the spigot, the faucet in the back of my house. I didn't realize that if I took the vacuum breaker cap off, I would have to go find a special new one because of the type of faucet. So we had to turn the water off in our entire house for a couple days and then turn it back on when we use it because we don't want to wait. So it's like, don't start something if there's the point of no return.
Right.
Like,
also look into what you're doing enough
see through to the end
so that you understand where the points of no return are, because there's already been a couple of incidents where I've now been up till 2 a.m. fixing something because I hit that point and I could not stop.
Yeah, and I'm like, my wife will be so mad if we don't have water tomorrow. So I cancel everything. And then, if you have work stuff going on or whatever, it just makes it 10 times more stressful because you're like, God, we're not properly living right now. Right. We don't have water. I have to do this. And so see through to the end.
Yeah, get all the way to the end and then, make sure, you were talking about this just before, read instruction manuals.
Yeah. And this is where my only ethical use of AI came in because I'm not a handy guy. My brother is. He is very handy. He's great. He got that gene. I didn't. But AI has helped me. I mean, honest to God, I was showing Gemini pictures of the spigot, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, why is there water spraying out the top? And it was like, it's okay, doing that shit. And I eventually got to the point where it understood. I was like, okay, I've reached a point of no return right now. I'm going to buy a whole new thing. Stop telling me how to fix it and just tell me how to make this water stop right now. I don't care if I have to get a new one. And it listened, and it was like, okay.
Well, I'm glad someone is using the Gemini that we get for free with our Google Drive
Yeah.
subscription, so that's good.
Yeah, I was accidentally logged into the drive, and so Cole is able to just see my entire afternoon of descent into madness, from me being able to fix one tiny part to me saying, fuck it, I'm throwing the whole thing out. Tell me how to make it stop now.
And that
was the point of no return.
I know that this is going to be a bit antithetical to what I normally say, but I'm going to tell you that you using ChatGPT or Google Gemini every once in a while for, hey, I need this question answered and I can't find an expert, isn't what's ruining everything. Okay?
Yeah.
Anthropic buying up rare books and destroying them so that they can quickly scan them into their AI models, that's destructive. Using up entire towns' water supplies, that's destructive.
To make your like show flyer or something.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm not going to lie, we started really heavily. Actually, like if you look at before we really started to understand exactly how bad AI is and how destructive it is and how, you know, as creators,
how it's cringe to use it now.
Yeah.
It's good. Ethical use of bullying.
Yeah. We early on did use AI. Like if you look at our first episode's thumbnail, we made that with AI and it was a piece of shit, but it was what it was. After that, like not long after that, right before, it was like, I remember right before I was like, fuck, I'm going to have to learn how to tailor these descriptions around, because right before a lot of the news came out about what like the impacts of AI really were, I had AI make me a template just for descriptions and like our social sites and everything. And I still, like I have that template changed in or saved into Notepad on my computer. And now I just go through, use that baseline template and change it for every episode. That's why when people watch our shit, they'll see like, oh, and it's made me pretty good at writing them because like there's certain parts that you bold because you want it to be eye-catching and stuff. And I've learned a lot more about how to do that.
That's the thing with AI is eventually you're going to have to use your brain.
Yeah.
So you may as well.
And do I regret using AI? To some degree, yes. But that was, again, before we really realized.
Yeah,
and as soon as we realized the impact of that stuff, like I make all of our thumbnails. I do that by myself.
And you learn a new skill in the process.
Yeah.
You learn you're good at something. So
so if you hate our thumbnails, that should explain it, but at least we're not using AI, right?
Yeah.
So
it's just coleslaw.
Yeah. But I will say that when it comes to things like DIY stuff, I feel like that's where AI had the opportunity to thrive. And if it wasn't run by such pieces of shit and if it wasn't such a mess to use for all the negative impacts it has, then it could be so fucking useful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's a really cool thing to have when you need shit like that.
I was like, I don't want to bother my dad right now. So I'm just going to show it a picture of this knob and and it was right.
The reason that I don't have to use AI as much is because my dad and my uncle have both been renovating their houses. They live right next door.
Yeah.
And I can go, hey, this is what I'm working on. They're like, yeah, I've done that already. Yeah, I'll come over and show you. And then they bring their big ass toolbox.
Yeah, then you trick them into like just doing it for you. I love doing that shit.
I love to do it. Like, this has got to be tapping into some part of me that didn't get to do this with my dad during my parents' divorce because my mom kept us from him. But like, there is something that scratches that childhood itch for me, that nostalgic itch of sitting with my dad and working with him and doing a project together, and it feels awesome.
Yeah.
And so I live for that. I love it.
I think during my like formative years where I would have done a lot of handyman things and worked on cars in the garage and stuff, my dad was working in like Hong Kong and New York City all the time. So
what the fuck was he doing?
He worked for Polo Ralph Lauren. He invented their colors.
What?
Yeah.
That's what your dad did?
Yeah.
Why did he stop doing that?
Because he never saw his kids.
Fair enough. All right. Yeah, you were probably getting to that point if I would have shut the fuck up.
So then he came back, and then I think when my brother hit that age, he was able to spend more time with my dad. And I would never fault my dad for that, because the drive to take care of your family, take care of your shit, I will always respect that. But I did I think I did miss some of that like handyman time
Yeah.
with him because he was gone
Yeah.
all week, every week,
And
husling.
That's crazy. I
Yeah,
did
dude,
not
we got to
know that
go.
your dad did that.
We got to go to New York City and see the like, you know, in the mid 2000s, people were wearing like basketball orange, lime green polos and stuff. My dad invented that.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Shout out to your dad for neons, you know?
Yeah, he
Like,
did. The 2000s Polo Ralph Lauren basketball orange, neon green. He made those colors in a lab not too far from here.
What does he have a degree in?
Nothing.
Really?
Yeah, he started as a like working on a spinner, yarn spinner at Guilford Mills and just fucking grinded. And
See, I miss those
he's
days
smart
where
as
you
shit.
could
He
do
went to college. He just didn't like it.
Your
He was lonely
your
and he was
dad
like,
is
fuck this.
Super smart. I
Yeah.
always enjoy talking to him. He's a very chilled out guy. He reminds me a lot of my grandfather. My grandfather was also, we've talked about him a million times, but he was a fucking genius and he was just super chill and so fun to
Yeah.
talk to.
And
Your dad's
My
very
dad's
much
also the
that
kind of guy where that is some cool shit he could brag about.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Do you think he'll care if we say his name?
No.
Shout out to Matt.
Shout out to Matt.
Shout out to Matt. And my dad, Gary. But my dad's also a grinder.
I don't think I realized your dad's name was Gary. That's such a dad name.
It is a dad name. Yeah, my dad.
Shout out to Gary and Matt.
Gary and Matt. My dad's the same way, just different game. But like my dad also started. I'm not gonna dox him too much because he's a very private person. His first job was at a tire factory and distribution center, and he started and he grinded up. He did a few other things in between. Again, very private person. Not gonna talk about his life like that. And then he ended up becoming like a regional vice president for that company, I think. And then he ended up training the guy that took the promotion he wanted. So he told him after like 20 fucking years, he was like, fuck
Man,
you.
fuck y'all.
And he got out.
You want this cheap copy? You got the real thing
And
right here.
It's so weird to tell anyone. Like my dad really knows like a lot about tires, but I've never seen someone give me better, more sound advice. He also knows cars though. Like him and his brother and his dad, that's all they did was fucking cars. Like they restored cars. I've showed you, we have a 66 Nova. I think it's a 66 Nova. Let me make sure. I don't want to. I know
That would
the
be
car bros will fucking
Okay,
come
this
for
would be
my neck.
a really cool follow-up to this episode eventually, is if you and I document our journey learning how to restore a car. I think that would be cool.
So we have a 68 Nova that I showed you in the back. It's fucking bad. I want to restore it. And that would be a cool project for us
Yeah.
to do, is like maybe once we really pop off and we have some money, I would love
That-
to take
yeah.
a handful of those cars out and restore them for my dad. Obviously let him be a part of it.
Yeah.
But if we ever get to the point where we're making big money, where we can help both of our parents retire, it would be so cool to do like a separate series where your dad comes over, my dad comes
Yeah,
over,
that'd be
and
awesome.
we work on fucking cars
Yeah,
together.
we chop it up with them.
That would be so sick. Anyways, totally derailed. Coming up with like
We just derailed for like 20 minutes, but it's okay.
That's like the
part
lottery-
of. I'm like, guess what? We're a ADHD podcast.
dude. I will tell you, to bring it back to the DIY. When I'm in the middle of a project by myself, that is the time I get the most thought done ever.
Yeah.
Like my brain is just everywhere. Like it's exploring the expanses
I tell you
of
what,
space-time.
my brain will tell me that I don't want to do handyman stuff like that, but when I start doing it and I am doing it, I do find that peace, man.
Yeah.
And I think I'm learning to love that more, and I think that'll help me become a better handyman. And it has taught me, I guess I'm going to try and get into one point. My biggest issue with doing DIY projects, handyman stuff, is that I would skip the instructions, think I can just look at it and be like, okay, I'll get to this final step and everything will fall into place. But once I started teaching myself to sit down, read the instructions first, that's helped a lot.
Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought? Yeah, I know.
And I will say that, like, when I was younger, I hated doing anything. Like, I was such a lazy little shit. And now, though, I'm like, this is somehow turned into my happy place. And I realized that, like, it's lessened with each generation, but like my dad would get frustrated. He'd be like, "What are you doing? It's fucking Saturday. Like we got shit to
God
do."
damn this fucking hellhole.
God damn this fucking hellhole. But he is also just a workhorse. Like I see my dad up every weekend just grinding it out, doing whatever he needs to get done. He's awesome about shit like that. However, that being said, he was never super brutal about it. He was like, get up and do some work or don't. But he's like, there's rewards for the people who get up and grind. And normally it would be like we get up, we help him do some shit. We'd go run some chores. We'd go check on one of the properties for my grandfather when he was still alive. And that's what we would do on our weekends is we'd go and like check properties for him and help my grandfather because he was getting older and he needed help. But then now I'm sitting here and I'm like, dude, I should have been front and center, but you can't explain that to your teenage kid self. Like you can't. And that's why I'm trying to be.
I should have been more interested in this.
Right.
I should have paid attention.
I'm trying to be that dad that is examining the way my kids act and behave from that perspective of, I was a kid at one point too. So, but it's funny too, because like the little one, he's like, I help too. Like he will come up to me and ask for a tool and he'll go, I help too. And so I give him actually it's funny. I have a screwdriver right here, but like this kind with the tips that come off, I'll just give this to him and he'll just start touching it on the thing. And
because at the very least they can learn just the tactile movement of holding a screwdriver. And I think it's good to encourage your kids to be interested in that.
And my oldest is awesome too.
So they don't end up like me.
And he'll be like, can I help? And I'll be like, yeah. Sometimes I'll be like, yes, you can help with this. Sometimes I got to be like, no, dude, this one's dangerous. You can't do this. But other times, actually, it's funny because we're sitting here doing this DIY thing and my mind's drifting because you see my washer right there. That cold water hose has a block in it somewhere. And I've been telling my wife for months, like since that
it's a colony of spider crickets.
Well, it's been since the old house. Maybe that's how they're getting here, because they all live there.
You brought them.
The joke is, by the way, for anybody who's never been in here, I have a spider cricket problem. They just keep showing up.
I don't know if that's just a southern United States thing too, like big spider crickets. But to me, it's such a southern United States thing of having a basement or a garage and just having these scary ass spider crickets in it. So I just grew up with them.
Someone told me, they were like, when you move to Winston, you're like officially in Western North Carolina. And I was like, okay, like it's an hour, maybe less than an hour from where I was before. Okay, sure, bro. When we were cleaning out this basement, I found a fucking Hercules beetle that was like that fucking big.
Yeah.
And they are native to Western North Carolina. And I was like, what the fuck? I really am in Western North Carolina.
If you're taking 40 back towards Greensboro and you look behind you, you can, like, because I just started doing the fucking thing. I was like, because like I work out in Davie County, which is the foothills. Right. And when you're looking behind you, you really can see the elevation go up. And you just don't realize it because it's gradual.
If you start to drive into Winston, like deeper into the city, you can hear your ears popping and shit. Like the elevation.
You always forget about that. Yeah.
And Western North Carolina is fucking gorgeous. Like I love the beach, but I also love the mountains. Like I'm very much a
me too,
nature guy.
I basically grew up spending half my childhood at the beach because we were there every weekend, all the time with my mom's family. Yeah. And my wife is from the mountains, basically, and I actually love going there because it's different to me.
One of the things I'm most excited about, because the one thing that is slightly unfortunate is the mountains are a little more dangerous for.
They also have the best cryptid folklore too. Yeah, the Appalachian Mountains are scary, man.
But one thing I can't wait for is when my kids are old enough to take them tubing, because and they can swim a little bit. But like the mountains are a little more dangerous. The beach is also dangerous, but my kids don't go straight out into the ocean. They we talked about this on one of the dad blasts, I think, or maybe it was last episode, but they like to hang out in the tide pools. Mountains, my youngest loves to like run and just be free. And I'm just so worried that one day he's going to run off a fucking mountain. Yeah. So I have to be very careful. I love that part. We have derailed so hard.
Yeah, we have.
We got to bring it back.
I took my medicine today too.
I'm medicated as well. I don't know what's
It's okay. It's just part of the experience.
But we are doing the DIY thing, and to kind of get back to that, here's how we can relate it all back. Part of understanding how to adequately do the DIY stuff, how to fix your house, is understanding where you live. It rains so much fucking more here than it did 45 minutes east. And I don't understand it, but it has been nothing but fucking rain here. 45 minutes east, not nearly as bad. And don't get me wrong, love the rain.
Need it.
You were talking about it this morning. It's a great day to just hang out in the house. I'm gonna do probably some more work around the house, bang on some shit with a hammer.
I have to do outside work in the rain today,
sorry.
I was trying to use it as an excuse to not do it, but I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to feel really good later if I do go out there and just handle this shit like a man and do it. You know what we should do?
This is giving me an idea for the dad voice. We should start a dad network from this of DIY dads that can, we're all within a vicinity, right?
Yeah.
And maybe as we expand the podcast, we can start other DIY dad factions out there.
It'll help people circumnavigate having to use AI too.
Right.
Ethical.
And you just poke your head in. Maybe we'll do a Discord for this or something. Because again, I don't like to do the social media, trying to get away from it. But maybe a Discord server where we have like different rooms in that server where it's like, all right, here's our NC triad dad.
It's just a dad help network.
And you pop in and you go, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. And one dad just pops up and goes, I did that 6 months ago. Here's what I did. Here's how to fix it.
Change your mind right now.
Stop while you're ahead.
My wife is gone.
But I think that genuinely having other dads as a resource is one of the most important parts of this, because you're going to be...
It takes a village.
If you get into this new house, you're going to be significantly closer. There's going to be changes you're going to want to make to your new house. You've probably seen like the paint job in my living room and our hallway, in our house or whatever. Actually, in my kids' room too. Up towards the borders, we left it kind of shitty because we're going to put crown molding in. And my dad has apparently like a shitload of crown. That's another thing about my dad, just to slightly go off trail again. But I don't know if your dad's like this, but my dad, if he finds a deal on some shit for some house repairs or something, he was like, I found that crown molding for like a few cents on the dollar. He's like, so I bought a bunch of it. I was like, why do you just have crown molding? He's like, you never know when you're going to need it. And sure as fuck, we need it.
Yeah. That's what my parents did with some like laminate flooring recently, and they were like, we'll give it to you because we just didn't end up using it. And then our handyman guy pulled it out of the packaging and it was all ruined. And I was like, well, at least you got a good deal on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that feeling is worth more than anything.
Right. Like stuff like that always comes in clutch. And I'm sure one day I'll be that dad where I'll just be walking through, because my dad also has just like a solution for everything in the reserves. Right? Like he's like, perfect example. When we first came in, I was asking him like what we needed to do to paint the walls. This is an older house. A lot of the paint on the walls was oil based. And he said, well, you need a primer. And I said, okay, so I'm going to need a primer. I'm going to need and he's like, don't worry about the primer. He's like, I got like 4 cans of this shit. And he just brought me over.
I keep it on deck.
He brought me over a bunch of this specific
Actually,
primer.
I have a backpack blower full of primer, and I just put it in reverse, and I just spray it sometimes because I love having primer, man.
And
I'm that guy with the primer.
It was shit like that, though, where I was like, dude, like, he really... And I know that this was a property that he owned and everything, so, like... He was obviously prepared, and I think that's another benefit of him having other homes and stuff that he can pull from. Like he just always has a solution for something, even if it's not great, even if it's like a holdover.
It's still better than nothing.
It is, and that's what we're doing with that fucking stove and oven we got. Dude, the thing's from like 1976, and he's like, it's a new oven. I'm like, Dad, it is probably lightly used, but there's nothing new about this fucking thing. He's like, does it work? I'm like, God damn it.
Stuff was built better back then, which is true.
It is so
Everything was built better. Honestly, if you have older stuff that's still functioning, probably better to just maintain that than get a new one.
Definitely actually try to repair it. But like, that's also another thing that like we've been railing on poor capitalistic practices lately. That's a thing though that's definitely needs to be taken into account when you're doing DIY stuff, is like these companies build shit to break now.
Yeah.
They build shit to break and not work so that you have to replace them over time. And we're looking at the fancy like oven stove combos and shit like that. And the ones that I can tell will last the longest are by far the most expensive. Like I'm gonna end up spending most of a paycheck, like $1,300-$1,400 on a stove oven.
Yeah.
At the same time, realizing I'm saving up the money for that shit means that I'm buying the good shit, and I'm gonna get me one of them ovens that has like the air fryer setting.
Oh yeah,
dude, it's gonna be a badass thing.
Big oven's coming.
Big oven's coming. That's right. I feel like there's categories to DIY stuff too, right? Like you're experiencing the need to fix.
Yeah.
So there's the need to fix.
You gotta do that shit first.
Gotta happen. Then there's what I'm more working on of this exists and it functions the way it should, but poorly or not to my liking.
It's time to improve our lives.
Right. Home improvement. Only millennials, I think, will understand that.
Yeah.
'Cause that was before Tim Allen became an asshole.
Dude, I always hated when he bullied Bob Vila on the show.
Yeah. God damn.
That's how I found out I was an empath. I always felt for Bob Vila.
Bob
The dude
Vila.
was just trying to like live his life and have some motion, and Tim Allen's character was just a dickhead to him all the time.
Also, for anyone who doesn't know, Gen Z and Gen Alpha, that's a show called Home Improvement.
And how he was a dick to Al too.
Yeah, to Al, to every... Wait, I'm just realizing there was different characters.
Yeah, I often get Bob Vila and Al confused.
Yeah.
Or
That's
put
what
them together.
That's what I did in my head there, is I was plugging Alan for Bob Vila. Yeah.
Al was like his like femboy helper
Yeah.
who had a beard.
Bob Vila
was his op.
from Bob Vila's Home Again.
Yeah,
And-
Bob Vila's a real person.
who actually has
yeah.
home improvement shows, or did. I don't know if he's even alive anymore.
Tim Allen's character killed him
Yeah, murdered him
in real life. He got the cartel to kill him after he did that cocaine smuggling back in the day. He's still connected.
Also, to bring it back on, because I don't know what to say to that. We're gonna bring it back on track. We're gonna get into one of my favorite things, which is list making. Because a lot of the time you end up in that I'll do it this weekend space. Make yourself that weekend list, buddy.
Yeah.
Make yourself that list for the weekend, because you're going to get so overwhelmed, and what's going to end up happening is you're going to start one thing, and then I did this yesterday. I started with the fucking door that I had to take off, and I went and I grabbed my wife's makeup chair, and I noticed it was loose. And so I went and I fixed the fucking chair. And when I was fixing the chair, I set it on the countertop, and I noticed that one of the cabinets was loose because I was like, it shifted, it just jimmied open. When
Hey,
I
was
putting
there
it on
a
the
fucking
countertop.
earthquake or something?
Yeah. So I ended up fixing the cabinet, fixing the fucking chair, then getting the door off. You gotta make sure you don't fall into that trap
Yeah.
of pinballing between tasks.
Because then you can overwhelm yourself.
And you,
Get
again,
overstimulated as fuck.
you'll be sitting there at 2 a.m. with now 30 fucking projects.
Yeah, and two of them are at that point of no return where you're like, I have to finish it or
Yeah.
else my family won't have water.
And I used to think it was so fucking annoying when coworkers would call out because they were doing home repair shit. I'm like, dude, just figure it
Yeah.
out. Like, and now I get it.
I get it too.
I get it so
now.
much. And I'm like, God damn, dude. Like I feel so, I owe so many apologies for that.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I owe one apology to this old guy named Wes that used to work for me. And he told me that he had some plumbing problems and he'd been working on them. And Wes, I doubt you're ever going to hear this, but my bad, man. Because
Dude, I have the exact same situation too. I was like, man, you got to be off to fix your water heater. But I get it now. And I was like, well, I guess we don't pay you enough to pay a repairman anyway.
Right,
so
yeah,
sorry.
like, and I gave that guy so much shit. I was like, man, that's something you got to take care of. That's your responsibility. Like, you
Yeah.
can't let it affect. I was a dickhead, and I'm sorry. And
Yeah.
I owe that apology. And listen, if you're a boss and you got people that are sitting there calling out for home repairs, just understand they're having a hard enough fucking time.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Leave
get
them
it.
alone.
Dude, there's nothing more anxiety-inducing than knowing you have something like that at home. And it probably does take away from your work productivity because you're like, I don't know if my house is flooding right now.
Right. And that's one thing now that I realize, like, that guy was smart to call out because I wouldn't have been able to focus.
Yeah, it's
at
like,
work.
dude, the basic human needs, food and water, but also shelter.
Yeah.
If your own shelter is not functioning properly, you're everything falls by the wayside. Every other need is inconsequential.
And that actually kind of makes me think of the principle of good enough, by the way, because that just while we're constantly snowballing down, ADHD will make you hyper focus on something until you think it's perfect. And even then, but at some point, your brain will have to submit to good enough. And it's going to have to when it comes to shit like this, because there is so much shit going on and there's so much shit to do. And every little job you start to pull the thread and you realize there's a million tiny moving parts underneath this. If you can get it back to functioning, just accept that.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, especially, again, if it's one of those projects, if it's your dishwasher in this scenario that I gave earlier, if it's the dishwasher and you've got a leak, but you know you're going to be replacing the dishwasher, get under the sink, see if you can find out where the leak's coming from. If you can, just fix the leak. But if you can't, determine, is the leak bad enough that I have to pull out the dishwasher right now to fix it? If it's not, let it keep leaking for a little bit. Put a bucket under there.
Put a cardboard box under there.
I've got absorbent pads where the leak is coming down into the basement. And they just absorb. My dad has like fucking infinite packs of this shit. So I just replace it every once in a while.
Yeah.
Ball up the other one. Keep going.
I got to have a full plan in place first, seeing it through to the end.
Yeah. And I'm telling you that even with ADHD, you learn real quick how to fight that impulse to just keep going until it's perfect. And you have got to learn to let it the fuck go.
Yeah.
Because you will ruin yourself.
Yeah.
Not just financially, but mentally.
There is not an audience watching you, criticizing you, and saying like, "Oh, he's not doing it perfectly."
Right.
There's not, dude.
I'm
just
gonna be
fix
honest
it.
with you.
Just fix it.
Especially millennials and younger. I guarantee you, if you can fix it yourself, you have a leg up on most of the people you know.
Yeah.
I would guarantee that.
You have a financial leg up.
Yeah, like you're doing better, because I have asked people other than Phil, hey, do you know how to do this? That aren't my dad or my uncle or my brother, because he's also a homeowner and he does this shit too. But they're like, I got no fucking idea what you're talking about. I'm like, awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And the whole thing with handyman stuff too is you do not learn unless you try.
Right.
Like the learning is part of the process. So give yourself some grace when you make mistakes, because
So is failure.
literally every plumber, anybody, they learned with hands-on mistakes. You're not a dumb idiot failure piece of shit for making a mistake. You're actually learning.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's part of any job. And cybersecurity, dude, I have let shit slip. And luckily, I had someone above me that was understanding, calm, and collected, and was like, this is where you went wrong. Let's make sure we don't do that again.
Yeah, and that's where spousal support can come in too. Husband or wife, or husband, wife, whatever. You can, like, because I was essentially on the verge of giving up last week and hiring a plumber. And I was like, babe, fuck this shit. I can't do it. And she said something that was very, like, encouraging to me. She was like, well, you just told me a bunch of stuff that you learned, and, like, you sound like you're learning.
You didn't
so just
know
keep
that
trying.
an hour ago.
Yeah.
And
I was like, wait, you're right. I know what a vacuum breaker seal is
Also,
now. Just because you don't know doesn't mean you're incompetent.
As one of the last things I will say about this, use fucking YouTube.
Yeah.
Use YouTube.
YouTube is everybody's proxy dad.
While you're on YouTube, go ahead and go over to the Dad Boys podcast and subscribe and like all of our shit. But then search what you need to find. I guarantee you there is no project you're working on that is so unique that it is not on YouTube.
Dude, there is millions of people on there who did it.
Yeah. When we were mounting the TV in...
dude, that's what I'm dreading about getting a new house.
My uncle eventually came in clutch, and I think you've seen my living room now. He did a whole fixture.
It looks good.
It looks really good, and it's really sturdy. But we could not figure out why, because I had concrete anchors and I was drilling into concrete. I had an impact driver. It was fucking good. But where the TV is set up is right over our fireplace, and we're probably not going to use the fireplace. It's old as shit. But we found out that the concrete we were drilling into was just old as fucking brittle. And so it just wasn't holding it. But luckily I didn't like mount the TV and then it came crashing down. But like anytime, like, you know, you do the tug test when you mount a TV, and every time I tug it, it would come out. And I looked it up, And I was like, why is this not working? At first, I looked it up and it was like, oh, because you're drilling into concrete. And I pulled, because whoever designed this actually had a good mindset. And there's 2 outlets right behind where the TV is up against the flat surface. And so I pulled those out, and sure enough, there's concrete right behind a thin layer of drywall. And
You
so
got
I
a
was
great house for tornadoes, by the way.
yeah, dude.
I feel safe here.
This is where we live. If I can get these fucking spider crickets out here, we could come sleep down here.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. We got into the wall. We realized it was concrete. I looked it up. There's another video. This is why your concrete's not working. It's probably old. And we were drilling into the smokestack of the chimney. So
Man, it smells weirdly ashy.
that's when I reached out to my uncle and was like, this is what's happening. I was like, so do you either have longer screws to get into the concrete? He's like, let me just come over and look at it. He looked at it and he came and rigged up something that was like you said, very sturdy. And he ended up like making a mount for the mount, and he used some 2x4s and attached it to the wood in the ceiling and then to the mantelpiece. It was smart. It was super smart. And shout out to my fucking uncle for being a G. But like,
And that's an underrated thing that people with ADHD don't give themselves credit for. Is I realized recently I'm resourceful.
yeah,
And I didn't realize it because I am always thinking of different scenarios. So being resourceful is good too. Being able
Also-
to use what you have to get to where you need is a very valuable thing to pay attention to.
that if you have someone that you know that is good with shit like that, invite them to come over and help you solve a problem and pay attention to what they do.
Yeah.
Because now that he's done that, I've already used his knowledge that he provided me to think about how we're going to fix this backdrop, to think about how I'm actually going to be working with him under my staircase that comes down into the basement. We're going to build a storage closet underneath the stairs. And all of that stemmed from him showing me just exactly how he could stabilize something with 2x4s, you know? So
Tale as old as time.
yeah, just pull in the people that you know are most knowledgeable. Shut the fuck up, put your pride aside and listen to them.
Yeah, and don't make them work for free. Reward them.
Yeah.
Don't do the bullshit pizza and beer thing.
No.
Everybody's too grown for that.
My uncle's reward was, he said, don't talk to me for the rest of the week. And I said, deal. So
That's awesome.
no, he's not an asshole by any means, but he's just a man.
And
who
that's the
likes
cool
to know
thing
time.
about dads too, is they genuinely, the reward is knowing that their offspring are better off too,
Yeah.
which, and I would never take advantage of that, but it is nice knowing I don't feel as guilty.
Right.
Because my dad's getting satisfaction out of helping me with something.
The
This is the whole basis of evolution and being alive, is
thing
making
to-
sure your offspring are good.
The thing to keep in mind when you might start to feel a little bit of that guilt is just remember that the skills your dad is giving to you is a skill you get to pass on to your son.
Yeah,
or
and
daughter
their
or
dad-
children.
Their dad or some trusted mentor taught them too,
Right. And,
out of the goodness of their heart.
and exactly. So it's that hand-me-down knowledge, and it really does mean a lot. Anyways, we're about at time.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, my brain has started drifting. I'm already thinking of ways to get that big nut thing off my faucet
Yeah.
in the rain.
So
I've had some really terrible ideas already that I've been able to lock out. So
nice. This episode would be a great one to sit there and go to tell people that if you have any requests for dad advice, DIY stuff counts too.
Yeah.
Email us at thedadvoicepod@gmail.com, subject line dadvice. Ask us a question. We will make a whole episode out of it if we can. If not, we can, if it's like a DIY thing, you're like, dude, I don't know how to fucking do this. Even if we can't answer it, we'll put it out to the audience and maybe someone will get in the comments and let you know how to fix that.
I'd be inclined to think that based on how much of fucking yappers we are, we can make a full episode out of literally anything.
Just about anything. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, email us, thedadvoicepod@gmail.com, subject line dadvice. If you need a boost of energy while you're working on all these DIY projects, go to w.gg, use code DADBLAST for 10% off of your purchase when you buy any energy supplements, shakers, merch, anything like that. They've got all kinds of flavors. Again, that's w.gg, use code DADBLAST for 10%
And
off.
that's exactly what I'm doing when I get home.
That's right. And aside from that, make sure you like, subscribe, follow us on all the podcast platforms. Again, if you're on YouTube looking up DIY stuff, head over to the Dad Voice Podcast channel and give us a subscribe. Like some of our content. That makes sure it gets back into your feed. YouTube's algorithm is doing really good about putting us in our subscribers' suggested videos lately. So that's been really cool.
Yeah, that's been really nice.
And we're glad to see some of you coming back. It really does feel nice to know that we're starting to build an audience.
Yep.
So we're happy to see you. Love that you guys are here. Do you have any dad formations?
Just keep fucking trying.
Keep fucking
You can't
trying.
learn if you don't try.
That's right.
I'm telling that to myself right now.
And, you know, make sure to follow us on all of our socials at the Dad Voice Pod, which that's at the end of the thing too. And my dad formation is just, you know, don't be too proud to ask for help because, to be honest, asking for help is a great way to learn. And you don't have to be overwhelmed. You're doing great. And it's okay for you to ask for help. So do that. Anyways, I think that's a good stopping point. What you think, Phil?
Time to go tackle this faucet again.
I'm going to go probably repair some cabinets. So we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Goodbye.
You're not my dad! We did it, Dad!
Who is my daddy? And what does he do?